this offer is actually accepted by the offeree, by the person to whom the offer was made, it is called an acceptance. And there are rules for acceptance. There are rules based on which certain essential rules that need to be borne in mind when we talk about an acceptance. Firstly, the acceptance has to be absolute and unconditional. You cannot, if the house was to be on offer for 1 crore rupees, and if you responded to that and said I would buy it for 75 lakh, it's qualified acceptance. That would be then treated as a counter offer. It will not be an offer itself. So for an offer to be effective, it has to be an absolute and unqualified offer. Next, it has to be communicated. When if C wants to accept D's offer and buy D's house, then C must convey his acceptance to D and not merely decide himself. He cannot in his mind say, okay, I want to buy it, and thereafter after 2 days go and tell D that I had accepted your offer. D is not going to have any knowledge of that intention on part of C. That the intention and the fact that there is an acceptance has to be communicated. The mode of acceptance, and this happens in a lot of bids that are floated by the government or by parties. There are clear terms and conditions based on which the acceptance is to be made. They say that if you want to accept it, you respond to us by email, or they state that the acceptance letter has to be say 3 copies of the acceptance letter have to be sent, and it has to be sent on a sealed envelope, or it has to be on a stamped paper. Those are the terms that the offeror in his terms and conditions has set out. So the mode of acceptance, if it is prescribed in the offer, then that mode has to be followed. Let's presume that mode is not followed. If that mode is not followed, it is also the duty of the offeror, the person who's floated that offer, to communicate to the offeree that you've not communicated to me in the prescribed mode. So please communicate to me in the prescribed mode. Instead, if the offeror does not communicate that, then in the mind of the offeree, in the mind of the person who's accepted that offer, he would continue to believe that he's followed the mode of communication that he chose, and there is no issue with that. So if there is a concern, or if one would want to reject that offer on those grounds, that communication has to go back to him. Similarly, when the offer is made and if the terms and conditions set out that the acceptance has to come within a certain time period, then that time period has to be followed. So if tender is floated for a project and to set out that everybody have to put in their or give their acceptance within 1 month, then if you give the acceptance on the 40th day, that is after 1 month, then that you've not given within the time limit that was set out. Therefore, it will not be a valid acceptance. Of course, you can accept something only once there is an offer on the table. So if you accept something without an offer on the table, that will not be an acceptance. That will probably be an invitation for an offer, like we saw in the example that we started with, where a person is asking the other, "Are you willing to sell your house?" That's not an acceptance. That's an invitation for an offer. And if A or a person has given an offer to another person, a third person cannot come and say, I'm accepting that. There is no transaction between the third person and the first person. It can be accepted only by the person to whom the offer has been given. And if the person to whom the offer has been given has rejected that offer, Thereafter, having a change of mind and coming back and stating that I would want to accept it now, that again will not be an acceptance, because uh, because uh, because the offer itself was already rejected. There has to be a fresh channel of communication, or the communication will be treated as, again, as an invitation for an offer, and thereafter the parties will have to communicate, negotiate to have their understanding on the terms and conditions in the manner that they intend to bind each other.